This is called Learning. Boston winter nights, I inhale as an extension of the wind that pushes me backwards, much to my resentment as I curse February's breath for reminding me that I am not the highest of gods in this eternal unfolding of a blank note, addressed to myself, the blank answer to a riddle I had forgotten long ago, a riddle I made up when I was bored perhaps. I inhale as an extension of the wind, as I suck down a Camel 99 for everything it's worth, demanding whatever answers may exist within its bleached white paper tube. Give me everything you have. I mean, don't give it to me, I'm taking it from you. Like a manic, insatiable vacuum, I will suck life from you. Boston winter nights, I let energy burst through the pores of sad-eyed girls' fingertips and flow into me through mine. All of the boundless cosmic mysteries, the nebula Edens and every fly I ever swatted, all the infinitely expanding, exponentially multiplying delusions of external realms, all of that and so much more contained within her most microscopic components, all that is external, contained tenfold within her, pulsating through her cellular biology, and then through mine as my fingertip inhaled as an extension of her fingertips' exhalation. We transfer universes to each other, sometimes in the context of sharing, other times in robbing each other of breath, thoughts, histories, essence. I want to be you when you were a little girl watching your house burn down, so I can pretend to understand what brought you here, refusing to kiss me, the queen of hopelessness, lying drained on her bunk bed, drained and still so much more full than me. Boston winter nights, I walked in sync with the structureless march of the regime of the broken hearts, tripping over my shoelaces and falling out of line, slipping on ice, tripping and on ice, crashing through some twisted teenage wonderland, talking all wild-eyed and schizophrenic with my brother not by blood. I was staring at frozen waterfalls, seemingly crystallized by the flipping of a switch. We spoke, he as wise man, me as village idiot, of spiraling inward, of saying, I love you to water, to alter its atomic structure, and then I said it out loud, to no one, to nothing, to everything, to him. It meant more than it ever had. It all came back to ice, looking through this crystal of quartz a flower child gave to me. It meant something, holding an icicle in my right hand, the tender heat of my touch, enough to melt it, to turn it into liquid love or some big stupid word like that. We stood in awe of these graffiti-kissed rock formations behind Del Ave, stood in someone's yard staring bug-eyed and drop-jawed at Boston winter glaciers. We are the last of the great explorers, none of whom were ever all that great. Cortez and Columbus conducting their genocides on sacred ground, replaced by modern explorers of chemically achieved dimensions, false decoy ascensions. Seeing faces in everything, it was never what it was when I was dumb enough to think that it was something. It all came back to ice. I walked through blizzards with blizzards inside me. All that is external contained tenfold within. Snowflakes of little white tablets and white powder accumulating on my synapses, burying my memory of promises I made to my parents when I was still beautiful. Boston winter nights, I wore halos of glowing strands of Christmas lights and lava lamps in dimly lit bedrooms, tinting my walls a soft yellow red. I sat in classrooms, in psych ward chairs and drug dens, my dealer friend and his roommate becoming wizards or shamans, and me like a space child, bursting through rings of fire at the end of obese joints. Boston winter nights, sobriety became a friend I had betrayed, and through the illusory haze, I saw girls with names like Noelle as angelic lead actresses from old black and white Christmas movies. I've been told it's a wonderful life. I would meet them halfway down along a snowy street between Mission Hill and JP. I would feel like a middle-aged novelist's recollection of himself as a young man. Boston winter nights, I became obsessed with three-letter acronyms. I would read about them on the internet and wink at them in the cough syrup aisle, or place them on my tongue, or see them when I closed my eyes. It was never worth it, but it was something, and that something must not go unacknowledged or disregarded as invalid unless you're willing to throw out the rest of it too. Boston winter morning, I didn't say goodbye. I tapped her leg to wake her up and looked into her eyes for the briefest of moments before realizing it wouldn't do either of us any good and turning around with make-pretend intentions of leaving for good and leaving her to discover two strategically placed piles of pages I had ripped from my notebook and torn in half because I was tired and sad and nothing mattered besides what I couldn't have. Some shit went down here and things get fuzzy and everything smells sterile like hospital paperwork, and I remember calling you from the hospital bed feeling stupid. I came home a week later wanting to apologize, wanting to change. I came home and kissed 5 dying flowers that I found in a trash can on Valentine's Day. I think that it is a wonderful life.